Starting to the bottom left of the map is our FXO player. He is ahead with 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is
FXO GuMiho.
the towel Terran. Today with the red towel.
Yeah, he usually wears blue ones, it seems, but today he's going red.
His opponent to the top right is starting in blue, though. It is the StarTale player. The StarTale Terran lost on Daybreak with a proxy strategy. Let's see what exactly he has on his sleeve in this game. This is
StarTale Bomber.
once again with gas first. And so starts GuMiho as well. Also with the gas.
You know what would be cool, actually, I'm just thinking about this right now, is if we had a Terran unit that actually was like a bomber. I know the Banshee could be considered kind of like a bomber, because it can't attack air and it
You want to
fires
have
bombs,
the Terran
but-
Baneling?
Not a Baneling per se, but a very slow, large unit that drops bombs that you would have to protect.
Okay.
Like a unit not as big as the battlecruiser, but like a medevac, but a little bit slower than a medevac. It can't attack other than dropping bombs. It's like a cast skill that it can do with energy or with
Broodlord style.
Yeah, Broodlord style almost. I think that would be really cool. That's just what I thought about right now. I had this idea. Sometimes I watch StarCraft and I get crazy ideas and I tell people about them.
It's actually called an Overlord with Banelings.
Yeah, I want it to be a Terran unit. I want it to be like a bomber from old times, before people will travel in outer space and wore marine suits. But yeah, there is the Overlord bombers. They do exist. Factory slightly ahead for GuMiho, as he made his barracks closer to his command, so you can see just slight variations in how things work out.
Let's see if we have second gas here. If we see a second gas, of course, what is probably going to happen is that we have Banshees, which is... there we already have the Tech Labs.
Yeah, Tech Labs indeed. And very quick Tech Labs, in fact.
Well, you can go for a super fast starport here if he just switches it up and builds the starport in place.
That seems likely what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see Reaper, not with how this was done.
I don't think we're going to see fast battlecruisers.
I don't think we're going to see fast Blue Flame.
Fast siege tanks.
They're both doing the same thing.
Yes.
You're exactly right. Just building the starport on the Tech Lab. This is a cool way of doing it. I like this way because, honestly, in my personal opinion, it's much easier to build the starport onto the Tech Lab than it is to pick up the factory, then switch it. Sometimes you misplace it, and sometimes the factory's in the way. That's so annoying. I hate doing that. That's one of the most arduous things, man, to do in StarCraft. You would pick that, or I don't know, you switch it. Oh, that's rough, dude. I feel these guys for doing this. There's nothing to lose. They just do it in a different order.
Look at Bomber here going straight for the opposite side of the map, whereas GuMiho just missed his opponent's Hellion and was on the way to the top left.
He's going to regret it. Well, actually, he's fine. He paid attention, a quick reaction to pull back there.
Yeah, but by now GuMiho also knows what's going on. The problem is, though, that Bomber only has one single Marine. That's all he's got right now.
Yeah. And he actually could have tried to sneak in the main.
He's trying to kill the SCV.
He will get it if he focuses. No, well, at least he pulls it off the line, which is quite important. Slows this down. And GuMiho's actually continuing with the second heli, and he's going to draw these units in the main. Then he's going to continue to pressure that command center. The problem from those is the Banshee.
That is.
Yeah.
Second gas has been spotted, and immediately for Bomber also an engineering bay.
And he will force the GuMiho Viking. Viking comes out right away. He cancels the second Banshee.
Is that the thing?
Yeah, it's the GuMiho Viking. It's the Viking that you make after you spot the second gas because you know your opponent's gone cloak. I just created this right now, but it is now a thing. It's the GuMiho Viking.
Ah, the Banshees. Having a little tete-a-tete in the middle of the map.
Yep. It's like they both passed each other and said, well, it turns out you decided to work for StarTale. I went on to work for FXO. We met each other at the Academy, but now we're enemies.
How is that treating you?
Luckily, we can't attack each other, so I'll let you go. Oh, this is...
We might just once again see a Banshee kill a Viking.
Well, yeah, that may happen, but
wow.
Bomber's doing nothing while GuMiho's doing everything. He's killed some SCVs here. He's continuing to pressure the natural, and Bomber's stuck in his main. He can't even protect himself with his Viking because there's Marines here. GuMiho in a great position right now, but he's not won this game by any means, but he's doing a ton of damage to that command center, and he's double expanding behind this.
He's double expanding. Bomber has his expansion already, but he does not really have the numbers to defend it. Right now he should have been able to. Yeah, he's moving in from the back with an Assault Viking and down the ramp with the rest of his units.
That was...
well done.
Well done, well held, but GuMiho did a lot of damage here. He's got the third command center on its way.
Did he?
Yeah, and Bomber actually...
Not really.
What? No, I said he has a third command center on the way.
Yeah, but GuMiho didn't do this much damage.
I just mean he damaged the command center and kept his opponent in the base and lost, and he wasn't mining during that time despite having a laser command center. So now Bomber, he lost a lot of mining, he was playing a little bit scared, and also his Banshee flew across the map and did nothing. He attacked a Tech Lob and then lost his Banshee, so in the end, a better trade for GuMiho overall. But Bomber, he's going into Blue Flame here. He's getting that infernal pre-igniter.
Well, the advantage that Bomber definitely had is that he already had the second mule, so that's something that helped him a little bit. Of course, his command center was, besides, shut down, and he had no mining, as you already pointed out. And, well, now we have for GuMiho the Viking count, and the one Raven that Bomber has at this point is living a very dangerous life.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep that alive as well, because Cloak is on the way for GuMiho now. He's getting it a little bit delayed, but when you have this air control, you can do this quite easily. You just keep the Vikings patrolling around, take out his Vikings, then you just micro your Banshee. And GuMiho with so many Hellions here. Blue Flame is not done for Bomber, so he's going to have to be very careful. A nice split. Oh, Hellion on Hellion battles can always be weird. He does not want to commit here.
Additional gas now for GuMiho, and he goes into Cloak. The thing is that Bomber has this one Raven, and that's something that GuMiho does not know about, so he's playing into his opponent's hands at this point. Let's see if this is actually going to finish. The Banshee is being built, and if he's actually able to just get past his opponent's defenses and sneak into Bomber's mineral line, he might still be able to do some damage here. Blue Flame is about to be done. Now it's done. And that's another third for Bomber.
Yeah, and both of these guys are going mech, and this could be quite exciting to watch. Two more factories coming down for GuMiho. Armories for both players. This is going to be awesome. Right now, the Viking count in total for both players is at 3. More importantly, though, Bomber has the Raven not only for Cloak, but for Point Defense Drone. That's going to make him win a lot of air battles. Both of them a little bit uncertain about their air control, as it seems, with that armory. I think they may get a Thor or two here pretty soon. But it's also just going to be for their +1 for vehicle weapons as well.
The Banshee is on its way, by the way, and it might actually just be spotted by the barracks, and then the Raven will immediately go, yes, no, he didn't see it.
Yeah, he had his Raven and his Vikings actually smartly positioned at the right side of the map, but right now they're just ironically in a different location, but he will be able to chase us off now. He's got 3 Vikings, they lift, and the Raven chases. He's not going to be able to do much with this at all. There's even a turret.
Yeah, he's like, yoo-hoo, how you doing?
Yeah, that's the saddest Banshee I've ever seen. She's like, There's no way out. Look at that, even the second Banshee at the natural gets no kills, is chased away.
Tries to move in, is stopped by the missile turret, tries to escape, but there's the Raven.
Oh, stellar defense.
Be careful,
up there.
Banshee. That's a trap.
Bomber, man, he was prepared for any possibility of Banshee play.
Oh, he definitely was, but just look at the supply right now. It's kind of even in army and, of course, also in harvester supply. But Bomber is moving out now. Does he already have his siege tech completed?
Oh,
yes,
yeah, he does. And
GuMiho does not.
GuMiho's going to have his soon, but he does not have Blue Flame. But even so, there's a lot of Hellions. GuMiho's Hellion count actually right now is 17 versus just the 11. So
and Bomber is also in the lead when it comes down to his siege tanks.
Yeah, and he's going to have to deal with that Banshee somehow. The Banshee of Bomber is right now uncontested in the skies.
Where is this Thor? He built a Thor, but where is it?
Good question. The Banshees, or rather the Ravens. Oh man, this is going to be terrible. Hellion sneaking into the natural.
Wow. Oh god, this is really bad news. And of course, with Bomber controlling the small path between the natural and the third, this is even worse.
And here come the Vikings and Banshees, though, of GuMiho taking a flank here. He targets the Raven. 2-point defense zone's dropped immediately. Nice save. The Thor trying to do what it can against that Banshee. Takes it out.
And the Thor a little bit overeager here. Overzealous moves into the range of the siege tanks. Bomber looking pretty strong here, but it's not like GuMiho is about to lose the game. He's still in it. He had to sack his third at least for now, and Bomber has a really nice count in SCVs. He's on 70 already, has a decent lead here.
Yeah, it's 70 versus 55 right now. He's got his base mining. That's something that GuMiho just simply does not have right now. He's sending SCVs over there now, but he lost a lot of time. And the army supply is fairly similar. Look at this Banshee harass. It's going to be shut down again. This time, let's look at how many kills. 1, 2, 3. He's going to get 4, it looks like. Yeah, 4 kills. As the fourth kill was made, he died. Defense drones making their lasting impact on this Thor. Thor's like, oh, this job's kind of boring, I have to say. Thor's like, I give up. He'll burn out eventually. This seems pointless.
Thor's like, yeah, well, screw that.
GuMiho was like,
Oh,
no, listen,
maybe.
I gave you a job to do. And he's like, all right.
Here we go.
Point Defense Drone actually my favorite spell in the entire game. It's the most creative and cool spell I think Blizzard came up with, in my opinion. I love it. I think it's so cool.
Those small lasers shooting everything down.
Well, the irony is that when you try to kill a point defense drone, it absorbs your shots. So it's like, that idea is so cool. It's not just there like as a support unit. It itself also protects itself and the units around it. It's I don't know how to explain why I like it, but I like it. 3 command centers on the way for Bomber. GuMiho, he's just going to stick with 2 additional ones right now.
Bomber really likes this command center style and then transition out of the SCVs and transition into mill support.
I noticed that almost every Terran player makes command centers.
Of course.
Oh, there's a blue flame for Bomber, but not for GuMiho, and he does not have the tank count to back this up. But Bomber may be a little bit overzealous in how he's attacking here.
He's trying to move in, but most of the aliens are already gone. Still a nice supply lead for Bomber. He takes on a lot of tanks of his opponent. Uses once again the Banshees in assault mode. The one, the Thor has to back off a little bit, but just look at how much damage he actually does.
Yeah, I feel GuMiho could have used this watchtower better.
Oh! He scans and boom!
But look at this. Banshee Revenge. Banshee Revenge.
Banshee killing a Thor here, but the supply lead with 30.
Banshee's like, that's all I need.
Bomber is doing a really good job here.
Yeah,
And,
he is.
We had a second starport already for GuMiho, whereas Bomber is really relying heavily on those Thors. He already has 3 of them and 7 tanks.
GuMiho actually going
yes,
triple
3
starport,
starports.
yeah.
That is something that we saw GuMiho do in Team League.
Yeah.
He started out with them immediately, but and once again an engagement, and these Blue Flame Hellions, they certainly don't mess around, do they?
No, they don't. GuMiho now has his own Blue Flame, but he is behind in supply, and these trades that we're seeing are not very cost efficient for Bomber, but they're enough because he's got the better economy right now. I have no idea where those SCVs thought they were going.
I have no clue either.
There wasn't even a harass or anything from them.
For a second, I considered that he might just want to try to open up some supply. Then I look at his supply count, he's like 130. I'm like,
he's down
no.
on workers, doesn't even have 70, man.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Those
that's not it.
SCVs thought they could get away, but GuMiho, he's on top of things.
Yeah, I just thought, okay, maybe I slept to the last 10 minutes of the game and suddenly he's at 200 supply. Guess what? Turns out I didn't. So GuMiho probably didn't even know what those SCVs were for.
He had no idea.
A misclick.
Exactly. By the way, high-sec auto-tracking coming out for Bomber, which I think is pretty cool. He's got the resources to do it. It'll help his planetaries. This little run-by is actually going to do a little bit of damage. This helps even up the supply in SCVs.
Exactly. Currently we have 77 to 66, so Bomber is still ahead, but GuMiho at least able to to lessen the gap a little bit. And here now comes Bomber once again on the attack. Nah, not quite, but at least able to gain a few meters.
The question will become here, has Bomber been too aggressive this game? He has thrown away a lot of supply in these attacks. Point Defension goes down to block Thor's shots.
Considering that both of them lost roughly the same amount of resources, I don't think that Bomber was too aggressive. I really like the position that he takes here. This is so important. He has even a few tanks on the high ground, and just look how they turn out to work for him. They kill every SCV at the expansion and the siege tank as well.
Revenge Banshees are back. It's return of the Revenge Banshees as they are coming in here. Point Defense Drone protecting them, and they're going for the Thors first. This is that triple starport we talked about at work here.
He needs to scan.
There he does.
Finally, there it is, and now those 3 Thors can do some damage.
I think the reason why he waited to scan is he wanted to use more point defension energy on the Vikings first. Just waste that energy while the Thor's fired and then use the scan. But either way, I mean, he still holds here and he's got a great position. In the middle of the map, though, GuMiho's with a different angle of attack.
but Bomber is ahead with 50 supply. He's adding the double. He's adding double armory now. Does he want to go for additional upgrades for
It has to be, man. I mean, triple
there's the
armory.
starport. Triple up. He has triple armory and triple starport now. The transition into the air army has started. And of course,
he needs it, man.
the fusion core for GuMiho. He wants to make them dance. He has double starport building that increases his starport count to 5.
Look at this, Bomber breaking through from one side on the left. He's got a complete surround on that 4th command center. Vikings in assault mode for GuMiho. He's trying to break through, but I'm not sure if he has enough. Losing a lot here. His Thor will fall, and now he can take out the last of these siege tanks. GuMiho is desperate, but he is holding on for dear life here.
Yeah, he has way too many minerals as well. It's one of his problems right now that he can't really spend his resources. And look how Bomber is just taking the map. He has expansions everywhere.
5 Thors at a time coming out for Bomber.
This just shows how great his production is and his income as well.
Yeah, he is going, by the way, into Corvid Reactor. He's building up that Raven count. He is going for that. He knows that GuMiho has already gone for the air style, and that is something he is going to try to counteract, not only with his Thors, with everything else. The high-sec auto-tracking really showing through here in that defense of those Hellions. You know, Bomber is trading really well, and he's got great positions, but GuMiho just continues to remax. This is how TVT often goes with this many bases for both players. You just kind of have a battle after battle, but you notice Bomber's bank is already a little bit higher than GuMiho's, and that's just going to continue if GuMiho cannot get his engagements working for him.
Bomber has 9 Thors. He's getting additional 2. And this is so scary now. Even with the battle cruisers on the field, this is not going to be easy for GuMiho to hold. But he's about to hit 200 supply again. Bomber with a better bank and also a lot of upgrades. He also gets his first few battle cruisers, but this is a scary army composition for Bomber.
Yeah, and you know,
a very
GuMiho,
expensive one.
Yeah, that's very true. GuMiho actually just killed a ton of SCVs. In total, GuMiho has killed 34 SCVs this game. He's taken a worker lead, but Bomber has more command centers, more orbitals, and finally, GuMiho frees himself from the tyranny of Bomber at that base. And these Hellions will essentially be wasted, but this is freeing up supply for Bomber. And look at those Thors. You talked about it before. This is a scary composition. GuMiho's got to get out of here.
And GuMiho now down to 2 mining bases, 3 mining bases. And one scan reveals the Banshee, and both of them die. Every single Banshee dies here, and everything just goes to hell for GuMiho. He is in a supply lead overall, and here come his Hellions. Let's see how this is going to work out. Bomber is killing a lot of stuff here, using the assault mode, GuMiho that is, and Bomber might lose his entire army.
Yeah, Bomber may have been a bit preemptive with that manor scan, man. I'm not sure about that. And he lost his entire Thor army, and I feel like he should have, he shouldn't have overextended himself there. Now he lost all those important Thors, and this is a battle of air now, more than a battle of ground. I'm a little bit stressed for Bomber here. He's still got the better economy, and he's not out of this yet, but he still does not have those Thors to help deal with this air composition that GuMiho is moving out with right now.
He's running out of time at this point, of course. The upgrades for Bombers are nice. He has 1-1 on its way, and he has a lot of Vikings in production. He controls 4 as we speak, but this is not going to be easy, as you already pointed out. He needs a little bit more time to get those Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the money, but he needs time. You're so right, and GuMiho has got the same position on Bomber that Bomber had on him earlier. Oh my god, the Hellions, though, they are doing a ton of damage. This base is completely exposed. This is really important for Bomber.
Bomber is able to do some damage here indeed, and now he's in the lead regarding his Vikings. He also has 3 battle cruisers, and he's now just going for it. +1/+1, it finished, and here comes GuMiho trying to do some damage to the battle cruisers, and Bomber should try to attack right now.
Bomber is attacking. He's going straight through the center, sending his 3 battle cruisers. He does not have the weapon refit upgrade, but his battle cruisers do have 1/1 upgrades, and this is something that GuMiho will not be able to defend easily. His Viking count is quite low right now. And Bomber, he's got an escort for this. He's got a Raven with almost enough energy for 2-point defense drones. So many Vikings.
He's trying to suffocate GuMiho right now. He's moving in, taking down this space one by one, bit by bit. But GuMiho is on the move as well. Now, do we have a huge battle between the two of them? Not thus far. We have a lot of battle cruisers for both players, and Bomber is building additional Thors as well. But GuMiho is just trying to master his opponent's account of Vikings. He wants to mess with the air army.
And he has got a great position on... I don't know why he's sending these Hellions home. He needs to attack and destroy all of the production of Bomber while desperately hoping he can use these 3 5-star ports now to get the Vikings out. The Vikings are all that he needs to win this game. His ground army is enough.
Not really. If you think about it, it depends on how well Bomber controls his Thors. If the Thors get off a few shots on the Vikings, then suddenly GuMiho's army will be really weak. His air army, that is.
That's very true. His Thors, he's got 3 of them in his main composition. He's got a few more out split into the other side. And see, now GuMiho's been trapped in the center of the map with his ground army. He cannot afford this, but he's getting some great Viking shots up on these battle cruisers.
Uh-oh, GuMiho in a great position here. The Thors are miles away, and everything's just dying. One Thor is not enough, and suddenly Bomber drops in supply. He had a huge lead over GuMiho, and now the Towel Terran was able to not only best his opponent's supply, but also get the lead here.
My hair is sticking up on my arms as I realize now that it was GuMiho's plan from the beginning to trap him with this army from both sides. So he isolates the Thors from the north with his siege tanks while closing in on the air battle with the Vikings he had been hiding for so long. GuMiho is playing like a god right now with his positioning here. I actually cannot believe how down he was in supply, how much he's been able to turn this game around, but it's not over yet. We're even in supply. Bomber relentless with how many expansions he is taking all over the map, but very few of them have SCVs mining right now, and his bank has gone down low. The same could be said of GuMiho, though, who's lost his base to the south. He's taken the 9 o'clock expansion over on the side. He's dropping mules there, using it essentially as an island base as he's not destroyed the rocks.
You're definitely right about one thing. This game is not over. Bomber has a great production. He actually produced another starport, and he's starting with Vikings, Vikings, and Vikings. He has those 4 Thors still available. He has 3 to 4 battle cruisers and now 17 to 18 Vikings, even +2 attack on its way. Bomber definitely not out of this game just yet.
Right now, the upgrades for the air I want to mention are 2-0 for GuMiho versus 1-1 for Bomber, but he's got +2 halfway done, so he's about to take a pretty big error advantage in the upgrades. And as far as Ravens go, Bomber's got a 1-0 lead on that, and that means 2-point defense drones, which is worth so many Vikings in itself.
Bomber still has the better income, or does he? Let me have a quick look at this. Yes, he does. There's the nice siege tank.
Oh, that siege tank, man. I don't know if I would call him nice with 12 kills to him. Well, nice in the sense that he is quite quite effective. What a tank. By the way, this is really important.
Cannon,
exactly.
And also Seeker missile.
With his 1 Raven, he can actually turn the tide of battle with that. I mean, he really can.
Oh, there's GuMiho, though, sieging up on the low ground. Is he taking the fight? Is Bomber going to attack here? He has the lead in Vikings. He has the Thors. He has everything that he needs. He is ahead. He's actually not ahead in overall supply, but he's ahead in army supply. He could take this. He's waiting for his upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. He's waiting for the upgrades. He's waiting for +2 and Yamato. When those finish, I think he's going to break out. GuMiho's attempting to isolate him once again, but this time Bomber did not make the mistake of isolating his Thors. His Thors are with the army.
Yamato is done.
And so is +2. Here we go.
+2 and Seeker missiles, and it is party time. Those Vikings go to town, and here comes the Raven.
Seeker missile. Oh, but GuMiho still with the lead in supply. Nice flank by Bomber with his Vikings as well. He forces the land.
He forces the land indeed. Does he go for the assault mode though? No, he does not. 130 supply for both of them. And suddenly GuMiho ahead in income.
Yeah, GuMiho restarts Thor production desperately as he knows that he needs it, but he doesn't have the gas.
Look at this. Oh, wow. We have them in assault mode, and this is going to be... He actually uses a few of the Vikes on the low ground to prevent the command center from landing, and it dies.
This is a great position for Bomber. GuMiho may only be down 5 in supply, but the composition for Bomber is 1,000 times better. GuMiho will likely never be able to recontrol air. All the supply he has in these Hellions is absolutely useless, and the siege tanks on the ground are about to be useless because there's no way he can break Bomber's fortified position here.
Is there anything on this planet that looks more silly than a Viking just running around the entire map?
No, man, I don't think so. I am with you on that.
The Vikings run around with the siege tanks trying to raise them, and well, I can tell you who's losing that battle.
Well, let's be honest, I think everybody knows the answer to that. Look at this. Bomber trying to deny expansions everywhere he can with the small amount of Hellions he has. And look at the Hellions of GuMiho.
This is a sick TVT.
This is one of the best games I've seen in my entire casting career. Bomber was landed for a second, and nice attempt of trap by GuMiho. He needs more Thors, and honestly, he's making 2 more. He's going to put his Thor count up to 3. His gas count is his problem. He needs more gas, but he's being denied at every turn with these mobile Vikings.
Oh, he's trying to bait him in. He's going for it. He's trying to chase him.
This is such a positional game. He needs this command center. He cannot lose it, but he does.
He loses the command center, and he will lose the next one on 2.
Bomber.
He can't save it. He cannot save it.
Bomber is just showing how useless these Hellions really are. GuMiho has spent the last minute and a half killing 2 factories with them.
To the right side of the map, at the bottom right, we actually have another base for Bomber. There is 1 Hellion, though, and this Hellion shuts down the mining. And suddenly now here we go, and he will land them, won't he? No.
Well, he's taking a lot of hits here. He needs to be careful. He's making a Viking flower, but it's the wrong season. Oh, the Thor misses it completely. I cannot believe this.
The Thor goes down, and now Bomber sieged up in a great position here. Those Thors are really doing a ton of damage, and now suddenly we have them in assault mode, at least a few of them, blocking the choke point, and he is going for it. Bomber against GuMiho. There they are. Viking power. The Viking power flower, here we go. They are ready, moving into the siege range as well. Bomber at 96 supply, GuMiho 67.
GG! With no mining left, Bomber takes game 2. An arduous game. That game was not as long as many TVTs that we've seen, but I can tell you why these 2 players are 1,000 times better than those super long TVTs that you see with Vikings and Banshees, because they're both so intelligent, so positional, and neither of them are passive. That was one of the best TVTs I have ever seen. This TVT will go down in history, at the very least in my mind, man. What a great game.
That was really a good one. Bomber tying things up. And GuMiho, I think he needs a bathroom break.
He does, man, or at least he needs some sort of mental break. What a sick game, and that brings us to game number 3.
Yeah, indeed, we will see another game between GuMiho and Bomber, and it's going to take place on Ohana. So, very interesting match that we just seen, and that was pretty funny.
That was
cool.
Sick, man. That was such a great game. Bomber having an early lead, and GuMiho inching things out, taking the lead for a time, and it was always about where are the Thors? And GuMiho tried to trap the Thors. He's always trying to keep the Thors away from the battlecruisers so he can kill them. The sick flank Bomber setup, and also his timing with the +2 and the Yamato when he broke out of that position at, I guess, his 5th base. That was the moment where the tide turned, and he was just so perfect about when he attacked there.
When I saw Seeker Missile, by the way, I was really looking forward to it. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. And I just envisioned what it's actually like when you control the Zerg player, a bunch of Mutalisks, and you fly in, you cluster them up, then comes the Seeker Missile, and boom, everything's gone, or nearly dead. And then he moves in with the Vikings, and the Vikes are shooting against each other. Then from behind, there comes this one Raven, sneaks in right after he just shot with his Vikings, goes for the Seeker Missile, and I'm like, oh my god! It does no damage at all.
It did some damage. The thing is,
a tiny little bit. They were all spread out, and they had armor upgrades. I was like, well.
The thing is, that was such a lose-lose situation for him. You know, he researched the Seeker Missile, okay? And he's only got the one Raven, so it's like his one shot, and he made it work. If he tries to flee from the missile, the Vikings kill him because he's got a surround. I mean, that was beautiful positioning, great timing. Everything Bomber did in that fight was the reason why he came back and won that game. He prepared everything for that moment. One moment, he had no real ground arm, but he says, if I kill your air, you cannot win, you cannot mine, you cannot kill me with your Hellions.
He had a huge lead in Vikings, and he was actually attacking from 2 sides as well. It was good focusing too. So very well done here by Bomber, but as we already mentioned, we have a 3rd game, guys. And it's only 1-1, and Ohana will prove who is going to be the one player who is going to advance to the round of 8 and who will drop down.
Yeah, and players not ready just yet. Bomber not in the lobby, but I don't blame them for just trying to sit back and relax for a second, get their wits about them after that sick game. It wasn't even that long, 35 in-game minutes. We've seen much longer, but this game,
it was pretty entertaining. One of my highlight moments was also when he used a few of his Vikings in assault mode to block the command center so that they could not land. We've seen like this crazy scenario where a command center always just lifts and drops the entire time to dodge the Vikings and just buy some time, but this time was not the case. Here's the Towel turn, making good use of the former. There's the Towel, this time in red, and Bomber to the right side of the screen now. StarTale against FXO. GuMiho versus Bomber here at the GSL Code A Round 2. And we are jumping into the third game, the last map between those two players.
Yep, only one will advance to the next round. Will it be this player, GuMiho, or on the other side, will it be Bomber? It's time to find out. Let's jump into a Hana.